so all the way from Israel, to talk about the empowerment of youth. Please welcome on stage of Hacking Generation Y, Matias. Welcome on stage, Michael.
Hello. Hi there. Thank you very, very much, Prime Minister. Very, very excited to be here. This has been an incredible conference. I am a proud member of today's youth, Generation Z. I'm 21 years old, born in 1996. I had a computer growing up, internet. Wrote my first email at the age of 7. I don't know a world that's not controlled by machines. I don't know what it's like communicating solely on one platform. I don't know what it's like spending days without seeing the face of a family member through video chat. Here we are, the Z generation, and we are different in many, many ways. Just 1 second. Smile. Thank you. When I was 16, I stepped into the MIT dorms along with 29 other amazing high schoolers around the world. It was a startup accelerator, and my team built AnyMeal, a startup that helps people with dietary restrictions like diabetes or celiac disease find foods in restaurants that are good for them. That pitch is still vibrant in my head. It was during high school, and a moment I'll never forget was pitching to a potential investor while doing the mandatory mile run during gym class. We had a blast. Fast forward prom, graduation, an amazing Europe trip, and here I am in California, 17 years old, young, scrappy, and hungry. A technology enthusiast learning every minute in an internship with Professor Dan Ariely, a behavioral economist and a personal role model of mine. It was really amazing. A phone call from Forbes magazine, and I find myself at a photo shoot for the 18 under 18 list. 18 teenagers that are hopefully doing cool things. 2 years later, at the 30 under 30 list, and that was a huge honor. Since then, I've gone more into the cybersecurity space, more into technology, embracing my passion for initiating projects and watching them grow. I grew up in an incredible environment with loving and encouraging parents. My school motivated me and allowed me to take part in endless activities. My community strengthened me. MIT and Forbes congratulated me on being a young entrepreneur. But along the way, I kept coming across teens like myself that had the passion and motivation, but kept getting shut down from those around them. Schools that limited their activities, companies confining them to freelancer-type projects, little or no support from family and friends. It won't work. You're wasting your time. You are too young. I believe this needs to change, and the change starts with the education system. Back to California, 17 years old, and I apply for a hackathon, a 36-hour coding marathon. It is going to take place in Michigan, the elite of hackathons. I send in my application, and in response, you're not admitted, you're not old enough, you must be 18 or over. So now comes the part of the story where I heroically give them a call and explain that I'm mature for my age and I'm a great programmer, and I go there and everything is great. But that's not what happened. I didn't get accepted. I didn't go. Instead, I did something else. I decided to create my own event, Hacking Generation Y. Oh, and the best part, there is an age limit. You must be 18 or under to attend. 500 participants, 100 of which travel from 17 different countries, and we are on fire. I watch as for 36 hours, hundreds of teens feel what it's like to be free to explore their passions. It was truly incredible. My favorite team was made of 14-year-olds that took a wheelchair and virtual reality equipment to give a disabled person the sensation of walking again through sending vibrations on his back. Truly unbelievable. And that was the first of many. Hacking Generation Y continued as a nonprofit movement as we hosted high school hackathons in Jamaica, India, London, Israel, impacting thousands of teenagers worldwide. But unfortunately, the event lasts for only 36 hours, then it's back to reality. Perhaps schools can adopt programs like Hacking Generation Y, not necessarily a hackathon, even a class within the school system that lets students experiment and create entrepreneurial projects. There are so many teenagers that are with incredible motivation, just eager to learn, and they're looking for opportunities like these. Moving to the workforce, When the younger generation enters companies, they're often given projects based on the skill sets they have on paper. But often, their capabilities are far beyond what's on their college degree. Sure, I studied computer science, and you can put me as a data scientist, but boy, do I love machine learning. Companies are struggling to handle this sort of mindset, unwritten skill sets against the ordinary college degree. And where does the innovation come from? Often from the top, the big guys making the big decisions. But what about all those young, scrappy, and hungry individuals that are new, but they're creative, and they are passionate, and they are eager to learn? Often, they know the customers the best. Google realized this early on and has been hugely successful with their 20% program. Every employee gets to spend 20% of their time, that's 1/5 of the week, doing a project they choose, free to use that intrinsic motivation to create something good. And the result? Google Street View, Google Sky, Gmail, or perhaps an innovation lab like that of eBay's that can incubate the ideas and give them room to grow. Use their passion, use their creativity. I recently came across two teenagers, Gilad and Yarden. I'm not sure I can even call them teenagers. They're 12 and 14, and they truly embody the power of youth. They are brothers growing up in Haifa, Israel, in a household that promotes entrepreneurship, promotes striving for excellence. Now, school uniforms bother them. It bothers most students, but unlike most students, they don't sit around and complain about it. Instead, they chose to seek the underlying reason behind the uniform, and it turns out the school just needs their logo on kids' shirts. The following week, they met with the school principal and faculty members and approved a pilot for their program. Now they can create compelling stickers with the school logo and sell them to students in an organized way. Students can now wear their own clothes to school. Now, this isn't a crazy startup. It's not a billion-dollar idea, and it's not necessarily changing the world. But Gilad and Yarden are 12 and 14 years old. 12 and 14. And they're already taking steps to change their own surrounding. At Friday night dinner, their parents are asking them, "What challenges did you meet this week?" Followed by, "How did you overcome them?" They will never, ever tell them to stop, to let go, to give up. With their supportive environment, they feel free to tackle these challenges and bring on all of the adults behind them. They're incredible. My bet is that they're going to do some pretty awesome things when they grow up. It has so much influence, our community, over what we do, over how we think, over how we act. Not everybody is so lucky to have this kind of support system, and it is our job to find ways through the education system and through innovative technology to level the playing field for youth worldwide. We need to understand that the new generation is different. We need to approach them differently and present them with new challenges and new opportunities. Empower them to try and fail, try and fail, try and fail, but always try. That's the mindset we need to have. Thank you very much.